Hi, I'm Emma and I'm an illustrator and graphic designer from Liverpool. One of the main mediums I use apart from paint and coloured pencil is air dry clay, which I use to make small sculptures and trinket dishes. And now I'm even learning how to make pottery so I can make more practical pieces of art, which I'll be telling you about in more detail as I do some painting. It's actually a painting that I started last year for Peachtober. If you're in the art community, you probably know of Peachtober's October prompts. I have done quite a lot of them in the past before. I've done it the past 3 years, but last year I flopped and didn't finish it. So this year I planned to finish any paintings that I started for Peachtober. There were 3. This is the first one, but this is day 3 because I actually did 1 and 2 last year. We're going to be painting this tiger, and I'm also going to tell you about my journey from air dry clay to pottery, which is something that I've started recently. I've been taking some lessons in it, and I just want to tell you where I'm at, where I started. So about 18 months ago I started doing air dry clay. So it was in the summer of 2023 I started doing air dry clay. I made some little frogs, some lie down frogs with their arms stretched out, maybe some tongues sticking out, and they were just some little wizard frogs because it was my most popular print at the time. I learned the hard way that I couldn't paint them with gouache, because I painted them with gouache, or gouache as I usually say it, but I get berated for that quite a lot. So I learned the hard way that I couldn't actually use gouache to paint over these clays, because when I went to use my water-based gloss glaze, my frogs were suddenly crying paint. So I had to panic glaze them the best I could, and then I went over them with more paint once they were dry, and they were just a mess. They were just a horrendous mess. So I did finish them. We only had one casualty at the event I was selling at, where his big hat fell off. I then glued it at home, sold it at my next event, went down very well. And then I moved on to bigger pieces, but I changed it so I painted with acrylic paint instead. These were all like medium-sized frogs. I've definitely got pictures that I will insert and show you. They sold really well because I sold them extremely cheaply. I think I was selling them in the range of between £4 and £12, something ridiculously cheap for the amount of time that I put into them, because these were extremely hard to make as well. I was fixing appendages onto these things. I was giving them little hats. I was putting really little detailed tongues on them, just as little sticky out goofy things, and I just wasn't paying myself. So I told myself after Christmas, right, I'll get through this season of events, and then after Christmas I will raise my prices and I will try making some other animals, because frogs were difficult as hell. So after Christmas I actually had a really cool idea to start making clay dog blind boxes, which were based on my dog Smokey. Insert picture here. I made, I think it was 7 different clay designs. I made a little box for them, which I designed in Illustrator and in Procreate. I then printed them in work on I think it's 350 GSM cardstock. And then I just folded them, cut them, stuck them together with hot glue myself. And then I assembled them, took them to my first ever convention, which was Liverpool Anime and Gaming Con. They did actually sell. I don't think I sold all of them, but I sold a couple of them. But I learned quickly that dog products don't sell super well unless you have people coming specifically to you for dogs. So I started making cats after that, which I then took to a few different events in Liverpool. I did the same alternative event that I'd done the year before, but I did it in the summertime, and they sold really well. I did cats and frogs and dogs. I did a mixture of stuff. Cats always sell amazingly. Frogs always sell amazingly. For some reason dogs, not so much, but I always have one customer who comes back to me for frogs. Shout out to Jay, you're the coolest. We got through that. We even went to London, sold some there, got some mixed reviews where I think I started to realise at this point that my sculptures, my prints, my stickers didn't really have a practicality to them, where people would tell me that like they didn't have space for stickers and prints, like they had no space on their walls, no space on sketchbooks, they don't really need stickers, they don't really need sculptures, like they don't know where to put it. And I completely understand that. You know what, they could just be nice and just been like, oh, my artwork's just not their cup of tea, and that's completely fine. But it did make me think, how can I branch out to people who want more practical pieces of art? And this made me really want to venture into pottery, which was something that I had recently obsessed over by watching the Great Pottery Throwdown. I actually started watching that, like, I think it was the beginning of last year, because I got into air dry clay and that made me obsess over pottery. And then I thought, ooh, maybe I can save up the money to actually do some lessons. So events later into last year, I started to save so I could start doing some actual practical lessons, which is currently what I'm doing now, because I wanted to make sculptures and artwork that could also be cups or crockery or little tea light holders, like things that were beautiful but were also incredibly useful, and people would have a reason to buy them, or to buy them as gifts, or to buy them for themselves, or just as homeware in general. That's just something I really want to do. I feel like everything I've ever made has just been something that I wanted to make for myself, and I know for a fact that I love cups, and I want to make myself a giant frog cup, and I would then love to, if I get that right, I want to sell that to other people. At the moment, I'm a few lessons into pottery. I've learned to throw plates, I've thrown 2 plates, 2 cups and a bowl. I've got another lesson tomorrow, but yeah, makes me feel very hopeful about this year. I know that it's an expensive thing to get into, and I'm currently saving for my own pottery wheel. I think this could be a great direction for me. I'm learning amazing new skills. I really want to learn different things to throw. I want to learn how to throw like egg cups and, you know, silly little things like tea light holders, even though I already mentioned those. I want to learn how to make big pieces of art that can also double as useful, practical pieces you can keep in your home and reuse time and time again. That's what I would want for myself. Like, I would want a cool piece of art that I can use time and time again. So yeah, the main goal for this year is learn how to throw, make a good few pieces, try different styles, try sculpting, also sell some pieces, hopefully. I would really like to buy a pottery wheel, throw some pieces at home, and then fire them at like the place where I do my pottery lessons. They did actually say to me that if I make any pieces at home, then I can fire them at their studio, which is Make North Docks, by the way, in Liverpool. It's a great place. My teacher's amazing. But yeah, that's the plan. I hope you like the cool tiger painting. I worked really hard. This painting is actually going to be on my Etsy. By the time this video is made, you'll be able to get this painting as a print, and I actually have a few of my air dry clay pieces up on my Etsy too. I've got my trinket dishes, I've got little sculptures, I've actually got some cool Studio Ghibli stuff right now, so if any of these sound appealing to you, why don't you go and take a look. I'll actually put a discount code at the end of this video, so for anyone who exclusively finished the video, feel free to take a discounted look at my Etsy. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to grace your presence again. I don't know. You can follow me on social media here. Bye. See ya. Bye. Thanks for watching my video. Hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.